Just wanted to make a video on dimensions, especially the fourth dimension, the one that's not comprehended or understood very well. People think we live in 3 dimensions. Well, I seem to doubt that. This is basically the one dimension that everyone knows. Then we go to 2 dimensions. Then we go to 3 dimensions. Well, if you were to look in the side of this dimension, this here would be exactly the same size as this, so you'd basically be looking at a square, is basically how you'd see that in 3 dimensions. You're looking at a 3-dimensional object on 2-dimensional paper, but if you were to look down into that wall, it would look like this. When you're talking the 4th dimension, we're talking this. The walls close in either side. That does not look like 3 dimensions to me. And the same with the roof. The roof comes down and the bottom comes up. And if you look at a hallway, this clearly explains it. The bottom is actually rising up. The top is rising down. This wall is rising into that side, and this wall is rising, deflecting back into the center of what you're actually looking at. If it was 3 dimensions, this wall would look square, this wall would look square, and it would not be reality. We're not looking in 3 dimensions, we're looking in another dimension. Why does the length, the height and the width change over depth? That's because there's 4 dimensions. You're talking the width, the height, the length, and then we're talking depth. When you're talking depth, you're talking the distance of how far away you're looking, and the length is actually changing. Same with the width, same with the height. It's all changing. And when we look at this here, this is what we're actually looking at. That's not 3 dimensions, that's 4 and 5 dimensions, because if you classify the walls closing in, that's 4th dimension, and then if you classify the roof and the floor going in, which is the roof going down, the floor coming up, the side going in and the other side coming in, you've got 4 and 5 dimensions. You've got an extra 2 more dimensions there, which is not 3-dimensional. And I'll put a video of explaining how things disappear over depth. But yeah, hopefully you understand that. It's pretty simple to understand, because if you were to look at a 5-dimensional object, this is not 3 dimensions. It's actually, we're including depth in this. When you have 3-dimensional object with no depth, yeah, it'll look 3-dimensional, but you put depth in that, this actually gets smaller than this. And I'll put my other video connected to this video, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, I just wanted to make a demonstration on another dimension that is not forthcoming, what we do not know about, that we do not understand. And we have height, width and length, but we also have depth. And what I mean by depth is the ball has length, it has height and it has width. It could be a square, you could have it as length, height and width, okay, which is your 3 dimensions. But then you have depth, which is distance away from that object. And the further the distance you go away from that object, the smaller that object becomes. And if I could zoom out another, this is only 6 meters from the ball. If I could zoom another 10 times that ball would go to basically a pinhead and you wouldn't actually see it. It's why we can't see New Zealand from Australia, and it's why planes disappear in the sky. You can look at a plane in the sky and it will disappear in the blue sky. It's because you have another dimension, which is the fourth dimension. It's something that science has not even looked at. We just think we live in 3 dimensions. Well, we live in more than 3 dimensions. Thanks for watching.